Welcome into the Frogs Today show live from Fort Worth, Texas. Ready for TCU Frog Ball here at Williams-Riley Field at Lupton Stadium for an all-access look at this weekend's games. It's time for the Horned Frog pre- and post-game show right now on Frogs Today. Welcome into Lupton Stadium here with Frogs Today as we prepare for another conference homestand as the TCU Horned Frogs take on the Oklahoma State Cowboys.
I'm Tristan Smith, joined alongside Olivia Lee and the members of the Frogs Today staff here to preview this upcoming series versus the Oklahoma State Cowboys right here at Lupton Stadium in Fort Worth, Texas. Now, Liv, let's start off with our previous series versus Texas Tech.
Yeah, TCU actually ended up losing that series, only winning 1 of 3 against the Red Raiders, a team who was ranked below them previously in the Big 12.
That's right, and the Red Raiders dominated that first game 20-16. They hit 302 on the day, which is not something you like to see coming out of our starting pitching. This game was really decided in the 7th in that first game of the series. Texas Tech took advantage of a lot of pre-pitch errors, and then it just kind of started to fall away from the Horned Frogs, turned into 8 unearned runs and a 19-16 lead. Not what you'd like to see. 7 batters reached with 2 outs, and the Red Raiders erased a 5-run deficit. Tech was coming off a 4-game losing streak heading into this. They dropped 2 to Texas, and they dropped 1 to New Mexico. And I really think they were just trying to get that bad taste out of their mouth, just like we were trying to get that bad taste out of our mouth heading into that long homestand last week. And unfortunately, it feels like we're far away from that now.
For sure. Well, in Game 2, the Horned Frogs did come out looking for a little bit of redemption. We had 2 home runs, one from Luke Boyers, one from Fontenelle in the first 3 at-bats of the game. Really impressive. They came out firing for sure. Also, back-to-back doubles from Braden Taylor and Cole Fontenelle, making it a 3-0 game in the 3rd inning. Austin Davis's sacrifice fly, bringing home Fontenelle with the 2nd run of the inning as well.
Absolutely. And Tech scratched across 3 runs in the 3rd inning to pull within 1, but TCU didn't waste any time. Elijah Nunez leading off the 4th inning with his first home run of the season to give us a 5-3 lead. That was huge for us in that game. Garrett Wright had quite a game. He pitched 3 scoreless innings to pick up his first save of the season. He struck out 2 and only allowed 1 hit. So way to go for Garrett Wright. Cole Klecker, we talked about him a little bit earlier this season. He has been dominating on the mound, and he did that so in that game as well. Went 5 2/3 inning into the start. Now, he allowed 6 runs on 7 hits, which isn't really indicative of what he's done most of the season, but it was enough to get it done. He walked 3 and struck out 2 batters.
Yeah. Now, Tristan, let's talk about the 3rd and final game of the series. Not the turnout the Frogs were looking for. 13 runners left on base in this game, with Logan Maxwell leaving 5 guys on base for the day as he went 0-4. Cam Brown allowing 15 hits on the mound. The Frogs hitting 151 on the day despite having runners on base due to walks and being hit by pitches. With 7 walks and 4 hit by pitch, this was the only on-base action really for these Horned Frogs for the entirety of the final game of this series, with an ending score of 10-5 Red Raiders. Now, Tristan, obviously the Red Raiders took the win for that series. What really stood out to you in that series for the Horned Frogs, and what were the flaws that they need to work on for this upcoming series against Oklahoma State?
Well, Liv, the biggest flaw in this game was clearly it was just pitching all around, from the starting people on the bump to the bullpen. I mean, we gave up a total of 37 runs, which is the most we've given up in a series this season since we played Florida State, and that was only 22 runs for that entire series. So you're already almost doubling that at that point in time. We sit at 47 overall RPI in the Tech series, and 15 on 15 on stolen bases is kind of the silver lining coming out of that series. But when you're putting up double-digit runs in a game, there's really no reason outside of pitching that you should be ended up in the loss column after that. Yeah. So now I just think that we're going to have to get back into a rhythm on the bump. We saw it in that homestand the previous week, and I think we can try and replicate that again this week.
Yeah. Now, TCU did take on Tarleton State last night, had a midweek win coming out 9-8, so it was a nail-biter. We're going to unpack that one a little bit later, but good to be coming off a win as we head into this series.
Absolutely. Now on Wednesday, Frogs Today spoke with head coach Kirk Sarlos about the series coming up, as well as Cole Fontenelle, who gave some insight on how the Frogs stay focused amidst a competitive schedule. Let's take a listen.
After tonight, what's it going to take to get the job done against Oklahoma State?
Pitch better. I think, the first 4 innings we gave up 8 runs and then put up zeros after that. So commend the guys coming in from the 5th on, and then the offense scratching back. I mean, that's what it's been the last, 10 days. It's like throw up some zeros when we score, give our offense a chance to catch their breath and not have to score every single inning. And But once again, Garrett Wright, nice job. Yeah, I thought Ben Abelt looked awesome. Vanderhei was all right. So I think we're going to have starting pitching, but then we're going to have to pitch better out of the bullpen.
It seemed like tonight was a good night to get some of those pitchers that struggled over the weekend some work. Was that the case?
Yeah, I mean, with a short week, we play Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I want to have Caleb Sloan come out of the bullpen, before this weekend. So got him an opportunity to come out and pitch out of the bullpen, and want him available. And basically, every guy that threw will be available for the weekend, and we're going to need everybody.
Speaking of people available for the weekend, can you give an update on Braden, Luke, and Hunter?
Yeah, Braden will be back. His 1-game suspension he served, so he'll be back. Who are the other ones?
Luke and Hunter.
Well, Luke's probably still a couple weeks away. Hunter will be available this weekend.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is trying to keep your same routine. It's a little bit easier at home because we know we have a little bit more time. We'll have more time to hit and do our stuff. But I think having a routine that you can stick to for the road is important. So I might have a little bit shortened routine at the plate or when I'm in the cages, just so I can be prepared. So just being as prepared as possible is the best thing to do. Yeah, I think. The biggest thing for us is we needed to stick together. I think we kind of held it up after the couple ejections. We're like, all right, like this is who's on the field right now, and this is we got to stick together and do what we need to do. And I think personally, I think I just needed to stick to my plan and not let anything affect anything. And I had my plan and I needed to stick to it. Yeah. No, I haven't seen much of these guys, but I think trusting. Coach Bruce makes a good plan for us every week. We know what we're going to expect from these guys. We watch them on film. We break them down. We create a plan, and that plan with whatever our approach is for that game is what you have to stick to. And I think it's made the adjustment a lot easier. Yeah, I think every series is huge, but when you got teams at the top, you can't take them for granted. So we're gonna have to stick together. We're gonna have to execute and stick with our approach and our plan. So hopefully, if we do those things, we'll come out on top. I'm a big glazed ham guy. That's my go-to. So I'll be trying to get a hold of some of that.
Well, great hearing from Kirk and Cole as we head into this upcoming series. Now, Tristan, in your eyes, what do you think the biggest threat is to this TCU Horned Frog team coming from Oklahoma State?
Well, we've talked about how TCU's pitching has been a little bit of a problem with inconsistency as of late, but for Texas Tech, their starting pitching has been pretty stellar so far in the past 2 weekend series. I believe the most runs that they've given up to an opponent has been around 4 or 5 runs. So they're going to bend, but they're not going to break. So for this TCU team that's been putting up a lot of numbers offensively, we're going to need our pitching to back us up, give us time to get into that rhythm so that way we can get back in the win column in a Big 12 series.
For sure, and that's something that Kirk mentioned that's going to be really important heading into this weekend is our pitching. Lots to unpack from the Tech series, the Tarleton game, and this upcoming Oklahoma State Cowboys series. We will be right back with all of that here on Frogs Today after a quick break.
For exclusive interviews and content on TCU recruits, subscribe now at frogstoday.com. Any sport, anytime. It's your source for all things TCU. Only on frogstoday.com.
Dave's Hot Chicken is a cult favorite and now has 2 locations in Fort Worth, Bryant Irvin Road on I-20 and Berry Street at TCU, both owned and operated by Horned Frogs. Mention the Frogs Today show and get 10% off anytime and order online at daveshotchicken.com.
Say hello to the water of tomorrow. Richard's Rainwater. Richard's Rainwater is 100% rain, refreshing, renewable, and the only ingredient we use in our water. Why rain? Because everyone deserves access to clean water, and rain is a 100% renewable resource available everywhere. Drink the rain. Save the planet. Shop now at richardsrainwater.com.
At Higginbotham, we put people first. So we simply start by listening to you. Whether you're searching for customized insurance, HR, or financial solutions to protect your home, car, health, business, or employees, our specialists are here to serve you, the people you care about, and your success. Higginbotham. Insurance, HR, and financial services. Inspired by you.
Hey Frog fans, welcome back into Lupton Stadium. I'm Olivia Lee here alongside Tristan Smith as we prepare for the first game of this Oklahoma State Cowboys series. Now before we dive into that a little further, we want to talk about what's coming up in TCU athletics this Easter weekend.
Yes, and let's dive right into it with TCU men's golf. They just finished their latest endeavor at the Wyoming Cowboy Classic, the Whirlwind Golf Club in Chandler, Arizona. Freshman Maxence Giboudot leads TCU at 2 under 142 in the first round. They finished 11th overall in the tournament. Giboudot made 5 birdies and shot 4 under 68 in the opening round. He followed with 2 more birdies to close it out, shooting 2 over 74. Also, men's tennis, talking about Oklahoma State, we've already had a little bit of experience with them this week over here in Fort Worth. Shut out Oklahoma State 4-0 in their exhibition tournament. TCU hosts number 47 Baylor, who is 14-11 overall, 1-0 in Big 12 play at 6 p.m. tonight in its final regular season home match.
May have to head over there after this and check some tennis out. Now, speaking of golf, women's golf is entering their final tournament of Big 12 play after finishing 9th in their previous tournament. They will return to action on Friday, April 7th as they head to Scottsdale, Arizona for their final Big 12 matchup. Now, women's beach volleyball is still sitting on top. After a weekend win in Jacksonville, Florida last week, they will be at home for their final tournament of the year. To check out these Frogs, make sure you head on over to them and watch them in front of the TCU Rec Center on Friday and Saturday. Now, TCU football spring practice is in full motion as well. Frogs Today has been giving you an inside look at TCU football spring practice as they gear up for this upcoming season. If you want to check out some of that stuff, make sure you head to our YouTube channel or check out that content at Frogs Today on Instagram and Twitter. Now, final plug, want to give myself a little shout out. The Players Club live over at John's Grill. I host along with Emma Hillquist. We are going to be hosting 2 TCU football transfers this week. Jack Besh and Jalen Robinson are going to be joining us, talking about their experience as transfers as well as their experience so far at TCU. It's going to be great to hear from them, so you want to check that out live at John's Grill at 6 p.m. on Thursday, or you can check it out on our YouTube channel as well. Now, here's a quick look at last week's episode as we hosted 2 of TCU Question's very own writers and talked to them about their experience with TCU athletics. Let's take a look. You have a meet, kind of break down what that day looks like, how you're scored, how many different events you're participating in, stuff like that.
Like what are the events?
Yeah,
So
we need to
there's-
know everything.
Yeah, there's 4 events
Everything, we
total.
got you.
In total, we have 40-ish girls on our team usually every year.
Wow.
And so that divides even further down into like about 20 and 20 English and Western. And then within those 2 groups, it goes flat fences for English. And then for Western, it goes reining and horsemanship. So it's really narrowed down to your discipline. And a lot of girls actually do both. But meet days it's completely different than any other sport. It's not, it's an all day thing. You don't just show up, like warm up, go, you're done. You have a little meeting. We are there as early as 5:30 in the morning.
Wow.
And you are there till as late as 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Liv, it's an awesome show that you've got going on over at John's every week. I can't wait to see what this week's show has in store, especially with not having a whole bunch of football going on. That was the most exciting thing that we had going on here at TCU this season. So I'm ready to see what they've got cooking for next season. So I hope I get to hear a little bit more about that. Now, we are going to take a short break, but when we return, more on TCU versus Oklahoma State baseball here in Fort Worth. We'll be right back.
Dave's Hot Chicken is a cult favorite and now has 2 locations in Fort Worth, Bryant Irvin Road on I-20 and Berry Street at TCU. Both owned and operated by Horned Frogs. Mention the Frogs Today show and get 10% off anytime. And order online at daveshotchicken.com.
At Higginbotham, we put people first. So we simply start by listening to you. Whether you're searching for customized insurance, HR, or financial solutions to protect your home, car, health, business, or employees, our specialists are here to serve you, the people you care about, and your success. Higginbotham. Insurance, HR, and financial services. Inspired by you.
For exclusive interviews and content on TCU recruits, subscribe now at frogstoday.com. Any sport, anytime. It's your source for all things TCU. Only on frogstoday.com.
Say hello to the water of tomorrow. Richards Rainwater. Richards Rainwater is 100% rain, refreshing, renewable, and the only ingredient we use in our water. Why rain? Because everyone deserves access to clean water, and rain is a 100% renewable resource available everywhere. Drink the rain. Save the planet. Shop now at richardsrainwater.com.
The Flying T Club provides the everyday TCU fan and alum the ability to specifically support TCU student athletes. Flying T Club offers 3 levels of memberships. The Flying T Club is a nonprofit organization supporting the brand development of TCU student athletes through a series of unique event-based networking opportunities, which are exclusive to our members. These events provide a great social engagement tool for our members and student athletes alike. Follow them on Instagram at Flying T Club or online at flyingtclub.com.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Frogs Today set. I'm Tristan Smith, joined alongside Olivia Lee, and we are unpacking this weekend series against Oklahoma State here in Fort Worth.
Now, this week, I went on campus and spoke to some TCU baseball fans about their favorite parts of Frogball USA, from stadium food to uniforms. Let's take a look. Hey everyone, welcome into the TCU campus. I'm Olivia Lee here with Frogs Today as we give you a look away from the Lupton set here on campus. Now, we thought no better way than to celebrate Frogball, but with the very own students of Texas Christian University. I'm here to talk to everyone about all things TCU baseball. Let's take a look. If you had to pick your go-to ballpark snack, what would it be?
I think it's got to be a hot dog. Standard classic.
For sure, Dippin' Dots.
Great choice. From that photo you're looking at of all the TCU baseball uniforms, which one is your favorite?
All right, so for me, I'm going to have to go with the far left. It looks a little old school, a little like New York Yankees style. I love it. Keep the frog ball going, you know what I mean?
I'm kind of liking the gray. I think it kind of spices things up. Looks kind of classy.
It's the just the white one that says frogs on it.
I like that one or the one with the stripes.
The pinstripes, always a good choice.
Kind of like the far left. I like the pinstripe look.
I like the black one on the right side.
And what about your walk-up song? If you were on that TCU baseball field, what would you be walking up to?
I would pick A Lot by 21 Savage.
Great choice.
I think I'm going to have to go with Gasolina. Again, another classic. Always have heard that, so it's fun.
Gets the fans hyped up too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Can't Hold Us by Macklemore.
I don't know. I can't think of one.
Too much pressure. Can't Hold Us, that's a great song. You guys can both walk up to it together.
Kickstart My Heart.
Hell's Bells.
Who are these songs by?
AC/DC.
And Motley Crue.
They may take inspiration from you guys. You never know. Well, we love being on campus, talking to students about TCU baseball, and we hope to see all our fans over at the Lupton Stadium this weekend. Let's take it back to the set.
It's always great to hear from students on campus, and honestly, I didn't think about it, but Kickstart My Heart would be a pretty good walk-up song here. Of course, I will never find out because you don't want to catch me on the diamond, but...
I know. I told some of those guys that you never know. They may take inspiration from you with these walk-up songs, so you got to think of your best one and put it out there.
We'll have to talk to some of them, see if they kind of think about it a little bit different.
Yeah, for sure. Now, just want to give a few reminders of this weekend series. The first pitch is going to be here tonight at 6:30 p.m., followed by Game 2 Friday at 8 p.m. Saturday will be a 4 p.m. first pitch, followed by Easter on Sunday. You can watch all of those games on the Big 12 on ESPN+.
Now, we will not be here this Saturday to recap the series because of Easter weekend, but we will be right back here at this desk next Friday to preview the series versus UNC Wilmington.
Now, just want to remind everyone that you can catch all of our content on our YouTube channel, as well as Instagram and Twitter at Frogs Today and frogstoday.com. Again, my name is Olivia Lee.
And I'm Tristan Smith.
And we will see you at the UNC Wilmington series next week.
Have a happy Easter weekend.